Hello and welcome to Soulful Strategies. It's Kathleen here, and I wasn't actually planning to record today. It's Thursday, the 13th of November here in Australia, and I've been in this really intentional pause period, not because it was convenient, but because I could feel burnout creeping in around the edges. And I'm still running my business, I'm still working with my clients, but I'm being really intentional with my energy output and what I'm working on and where I am putting my focus. I thought I'd just keep resting, making more space in my days, and being really intentional with my time and where I'm putting my energy. But something has shifted, and I really felt this quiet nudge to speak while the insight is still fresh. I don't know if you've ever felt that urge and it's not like a rushed urge. It's not like that, oh my God, I got to get this out now. It's more like I need to do this now, because if I don't, the potency and the message will be lost. And I think it's important for the time that we are in right now. So before I get into what I've been sensing, I want to say something that really sits at the heart of Soulful Strategies, not just the podcast that I have, but like my actual philosophy and my working philosophy of structure with soul. And my work has always, whether it's in my business or in my life, throughout my entire life, the common thread, the through line has always lived in the space between the intuitive inner world and the very human world we are all navigating every single day. So the inner world is where we feel and we sense and we know things long before we can ever articulate them. And then there's the world when we have real bodies with real needs, the school run, the clients, the bills, the dogs recovering from surgery. Speaking as my little doggo rests from her surgery over the weekend. You know, the appointments, the capacity limits, the very real messy bits that come with being a human and being alive in our current world, right? So Soulful Strategies was born really from bridging those two worlds. And it's not a theory, it's not idealism, but it is the relationship between intuition and practicality, between flow and structure, between that inner knowing and the daily reality. And I think episodes like this one live right inside that bridge. They're intuitive and reflective, but they're also going to be grounded in the actual experience of being a human who runs a business, who has responsibilities, but still wants to live in alignment with themselves. And when I talk about these energies, I'm not referring to them in a gendered sense. I'm really talking about inner archetypes. So the qualities within each of us that shape how we move, how we create, how we hold ourselves, and how we respond. I want to keep this grounded because this isn't about labels or online definitions. It's really about the subtle movements inside of us, the way we shift between building and resting, between creating and integrating, between initiating and softening and allowing and flowing. And the reason I'm speaking into this today is because so many of us have been feeling that internal tug of war lately. And this has come through because over the last week, while I've been slowing down and really intentionally taking extra time on top of the time I already carve out where I can, a few things have started landing. And they haven't been loud. They haven't been like a lightning bolt epiphany. It's been like a slow unfolding, just soft internal clicks, particularly around my gene keys. I've been contemplating those in the mornings, my own patterns, my own lineage and how I've grown up and how I was raised and how that has influenced me and what patterns I want to let go of and what I want to take, moving forward. And how I hold structure and creativity inside myself as a separate being, as a separate entity from my business, and how I hold it in my business too. And I've been noticing something similar in the collective, this kind of undercurrent. A lot of people in my life and in society that I've witnessed have been moving through, even if they haven't had words for it yet. So Today I want to speak to that, and it's not a forecast, it's not a prediction, it's just really a reflection of what I'm seeing and sensing underneath the surface. If it resonates, that's beautiful. If not, just take what feels true for you. Let's drop in. Lately, it feels like something is ending, and not in that kind of dramatic, like, oh my God, everything's crumbling, although, sometimes endings come in that way. But I'm seeing it and experiencing it more in like that soft, dissolving kind of way where things we've been carrying for far too long are finally loosening their grip on us. We're letting them go. And we are in a 9-year as well, so that is a ending of cycles. But we're also releasing old expectations, old identities, and that pressure to constantly be more. So those are the parts of ourselves that were shaped by survival and striving to do rather than be, and we've quietly outgrown. And at the same time, there's been this growing awareness, I think, of abundance, and abundance in the real kind. Not in the ego-driven time. I mean the kind of abundance that is found in those small, ordinary moments. I can think of this morning, sitting in the sun before work with a coffee, with my little doggo out on the porch. I put her out in the sun so she could get some sun while she recovers, and things like that. Having the freedom, true freedom to rest when your body needs it. And the simple fact that you've built a business that allows flexibility. You've built a life that allows that flexibility. And these moments don't look impressive from the outside, although if it's me looking in, I do believe they are very impressive when I witness that in others, but not in the collective what society would deem as impressive, right? That's what I mean. But they are the foundation of a meaningful life that is true to you. And what I've been noticing is that there are two kind of currents running through many of us right now. Not two groups of people separately, but two inner energies. And that's what I'm going to talk about. The first current, this is kind of the part of us that is still operating out of urgency or fear. And the part that feels behind, the part that is like, I've got to keep up, I've got to do more, I've got to do this, I've got to reach that. The part that's looking to the future, but not in a way of like, this is my vision and this is my goal. It's looking to the future in a way that I've got to get there now. The part that pushes, the part that rushes, and it's grasping for clarity. This energy feels heavy. It feels frustrating, like no matter what you do, something isn't quite landing, you're trying all the things and it's just not working. And that's not because you're doing anything wrong, but because that way of operating isn't aligned anymore. And the second current that I'm noticing is this one's a lot quieter. It's more grounded. It's more confident, but in a really soft, steady way. Like a steady pulse. And it's the part of you that's been tending to your inner world, even if you haven't consciously realized it, although you may have. That part that trusts slow growth, the part that is remembering what actually matters and what you are really doing all of this for. And this energy feels warm, it feels expansive, but not in that loud, overpowering way. It feels like it's giving you that breathing room. And what's interesting is that these two currents aren't at odds. They're actually trying to reconcile with each other. They're trying to integrate with each other. They're trying to learn from each other. That urgent part of you needs the grounded part to show it what safety feels like. And the grounded part needs the urgent part to slow down long enough for clarity to fully come in, for clarity to fully form. So this moment, I'm feeling both collectively and personally, feels like a quiet kind of inner reunion. And the part of you that wants to leap and the part of you that wants to rest are finally meeting each other really honestly. The part that it's afraid and the part that knows, learning to occupy the same space again. And this isn't going to be about completely reinventing yourself. Trust me, you're already on the right path. It's not about completely changing yourself, reinventing, throwing the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, or forcing that rebirth or becoming something new. It's really about returning to yourself really gently, really honestly, sometimes painfully slowly, or sometimes enjoyably slowly, depending on how you look at it. And it is a subtle remembering a return. And for those of us who are running really heart-led businesses, this is significant because your capacity is shifting too. The way you make decisions, the way you spend your energy, the way you show up, it's all quietly reorganizing itself from the inside out. And so forward movement is coming, it is happening, but it's not urgent. It's intentional, it's embodied, and it's really aligned with who you are now and the person you are going to be, not who you used to be. And this is the energetics underneath what many of us are feeling right now. If this landed for you, beautiful. If it simply sits quietly in your body without needing to be named, that's perfect too. These reflections aren't going to be a weekly segment or anything structured. Yeah, I'm not going to turn the creative process into something I must do. They'll come when they come, and they'll come when they feel true. But otherwise, you can expect my episodes as usual every fortnight, except for my seasonal breaks, which will be coming up as we enter January. So thank you for being here. Take gentle care of yourself today, and I'll speak to you soon.